The body arrives before it is necessary, not early in relation to a schedule, but early in relation to any possible event. It occupies the space with sufficient precision, without excess, without lack. A bench, a platform, a corridor too long to suggest a destination. The light is correct. The air does not disturb. Nothing feels provisional. Nothing announces permanence. The body simply is. Nothing here demands urgency. The environment functions as it should when nothing needs to be resolved. Clean surfaces, distant noise, stable intervals. The body responds without resistance. It adjusts its posture, regulates its breathing, finds a position that can be sustained indefinitely. There is no visible anxiety. There is availability. Waiting does not begin as a choice. It settles in as a condition, an acceptable state between an irrelevant before and an after that never presents itself. The body does not ask how much time remains. It learns that asking does not alter the space. It learns that remaining is sufficient. The muscles maintain a minimal level of readiness, as if something could happen at any moment. But the moment never defines itself. Still, the readiness does not dissolve. It turns into habit, preparation without an object, a restrained gesture repeating without knowing why. Time passes without leaving clear marks. There is no sense of progress or delay. The body remains functional, intact, obedient to the small demands of the environment. Nothing hurts, nothing fully relaxes. There is only a silent continuity, easy to accept, difficult to interrupt. As time passes, if it can still be called that, the body begins to adjust expectations it does not remember having. Desire is softened before it forms. Anticipation is reduced to a remote possibility. Waiting becomes easier than wanting. Waiting begins to feel efficient. It avoids frustration, avoids error, avoids the discomfort of acting without guarantees. The body learns that remaining is a form of protection. While waiting, it does not commit. While waiting, it does not lose. Lack does not yet appear as pain. It appears as a small, constant retention, an internal delay that does not explain itself. Something is always about to happen, but never reaches formulation. The body feels it, but does not name it. Naming would require movement. The environment remains unchanged. Nothing forces a decision. There are no signs of collapse, no explicit invitations. This prolonged neutrality begins to weigh, not through excess, but through indefinite duration. Waiting stops being comfortable without becoming unbearable. At some point, without visible rupture, a quiet understanding emerges. The body realizes it is not waiting for something specific. There is no hidden object, no delayed arrival. Waiting does not point outward. What the body protects is not the event, but the waiting itself. While waiting, It postpones the risk of leaving this state. Waiting guarantees neutrality. It ensures that nothing has to be faced. Continuous readiness replaces action. This realization brings no relief. It also brings no despair. It simply settles in. The body understands that it has learned to wait the way it learns a basic function: to breathe, to sustain, to remain. Moving now would require a justification that does not exist. It would require accepting the possibility of error, of desiring without return, of abandoning the stable balance of suspension. Remaining is simpler. Remaining is familiar. The body stays in the same space. The light does not change. The silence remains manageable. Nothing breaks after the revelation. Only the meaning shifts. Waiting ceases to be accidental. The body remains, knowing that it remains. This awareness does not push toward action. It only removes the illusion that something external keeps things this way. The state is not imposed. It is sustained. The initial image returns without alteration. The same bench, the same corridor, the same adjusted body. Everything looks the same, but it is no longer neutral. Waiting now has weight. The video offers no exit. It does not point to the right moment. It simply leaves the body there, functional, intact, aware of its own suspension. The space continues. The silence stretches. Outside the frame, waiting continues to operate. Not as a promise, but as a habit. Not as failure, but as a learned way of remaining.